Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you from Reddit, from AITA, and it is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Asking My Wife to Stop Going on Her Annual Trip? My wife, early 30s female, loves to travel. I, early 30s male, do not. I don't hate it, but I find it stressful, and flying makes me incredibly anxious. My wife, on the other hand, has traveled all over the place, lived in multiple countries, and is always planning the next big adventure. This really hasn't been an issue for us. I do travel with my wife probably once or twice a year, usually staying a little closer to home. Otherwise, she travels with her family or friends. She always invites me on these trips, but I rarely go. While I miss having her around, it's a good arrangement. She gets to do something she loves, and I get some alone time to unwind at home. She'll send pictures, we FaceTime, and she usually brings me back some cool souvenirs. All of this to say, there's one trip she takes every year, and I'm starting to get uncomfortable about it. She goes, by herself, to the same place every year, and it's non-negotiable. When she's there, I hear from her way less than any other trip. She'll send pics, and we FaceTime, but less often. When she gets back, she'll give me snippets of information, but I don't get a full day-by-day rundown. This trip predates me. She first went to this place in college and has been back basically every year since. She's told me several times how much this place means to her, but my problems are as follows. The trip is non-negotiable. She's had a lot of trips change, get canceled, or not materialize, but this never does. I'm not invited. It feels secretive, like she doesn't want to share it. This place isn't exactly a tourist hotspot. It's not what you would think of as a vacation destination, and there aren't a lot of sights to see, even according to my wife. So why the need to go back 10 plus years in a row if there's not that much to do? The issue being that we have the money, we have the time off work, and we still have a great relationship outside of this. I even asked if I could accompany her sometimes, but she accused me, probably correctly, of only wanting to go to keep tabs on her because I, under any other circumstances, would have no interest in going to this place. So, according to her, it's either my insecurity or ego that's trying to keep her from her passion. I get where she's coming from, but it also seems crazy to me to be deliberately unwilling to include your spouse in something like this. No, she got it right. Well, you know what? IDFK still. I feel like she did get it right. It is your insecurity and ego that are at play here, and that's where the opposition comes from. Like you can't stand that you don't know, you can't stand that you don't have control of the situation, and that's a problem. But I think we also have to address the fact that she clings to this secret trip that she goes on as well. Now, what I'm imagining here is probably not what it is, but what I'm imagining is that she goes to this not well-known place because it's not touristy and not overcrowded with shit, and has like a week of just chill time. Maybe she writes or processes her life down there, but it's like her one solo meditative time. That's what I'm hoping it is. And if that were the case, this would kind of make sense. It's like, no, sorry, you don't get to go on this one. I go by myself. It's once a year. I wouldn't think she's going back once a year to see some fling dude that she met, 10 years ago. But it could be something like that. But I do think that everybody needs some alone time to fill up their cup. Once you become, a parent, that gets a lot more difficult for them as a childless couple. I think they have the option of doing a lot of that. And every time that she goes on a trip, he gets alone time because she's going with other people. This is the one thing she does herself. And maybe, OP, you need to look at that situation and be like, okay, whenever she goes, I get alone time. She never gets alone time. This is her only alone time. Why do I feel the need to control that? It is shady that she won't tell him. I mean, what is she not telling him, though? He gets snippets of information, but she's not as forthcoming with information as she would be with the other trips. And maybe that's because there's not that much to tell. Maybe it is a meditative kind of thing. Maybe it is a chill kind of thing, and the objective is to not have a lot going on, so there isn't a lot to convey. I don't know. Elise, says I can usually find the good in people. This is suspicious to me too, though. Ashuri, everyone sucks here. He's a bit insecure, but she could tell him what it is if there's nothing to hide. Okay. I always forget about the everyone sucks here option, which is dumb of me because it's not always like one person is wrong when one person is right. It's usually everybody's a little bit wrong to some degree, right? I agree with you on this. I think it's an everyone sucks here because she understands she's accusing you of your insecurity or ego being at play here. And I think in a married couple, if Candy Thunder had an insecurity about something that I had planned to do, I would want to alleviate that as much as possible. And she's not. So she's maintaining the current secrecy, not that it's secrecy, but the level of secrecy that she has. She's clinging to that and saying he just wants to control her, basically. But she's right. It's his insecurity that is forcing him to feel the way that he is and act the way that he is. So, top funny comment. Okay, let's think about this. 1, she may be part of a secret ancient order of immortal knights who congregate every year at this specific place. Possible. 2, she has a secret family somehow, and they've had to move to another country as part of a convoluted witness protection strategy after she betrayed the local Italian mob. Also possible. 3, she's a sleeper agent who needs to check in with her superiors in person every year. You are her normie cover. Check under the floorboards for a safe with guns and fake passports. Maybe she's a former Nazi. Could be. 4, she cheats on you, but she's very respectful about it and only does it 1 week every year. It's like the purge, but for cheating. 5, she likes to travel solo, and just because a person is in a relationship doesn't mean they have to do literally everything with their partner, no matter how big or inconsequential it is. Yeah, also, you get alone time and she doesn't, so remember that. 6, she takes care of a weird alien creature who landed on Earth 10 plus years ago and goes to check in on it once a year. That's my leading possibility so far. 7, same thing as the sleeper agent hypothesis, but instead she's an alien and the mothership has crashed near her yearly destination. You're the asshole. Take your pick. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yes, the alien options are definitely my leading probability things right now. But it could be anything, and I would feel uncomfortable. You know what? If this situation, Candy Thunder went to somewhere and communicated with me, but didn't offer me nearly the communication level that she does on other trips, I would feel uncomfortable. But I also feel like she would see that and would be very forthcoming to try to alleviate that discomfort. And I don't know. It isn't everyone sucks here. I think they're both